Islam. Can you see me? Hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. I'm coming in a second. Let me get some water. It's gonna be a good one, boy. You gotta get a seat for this one.
Close the door.
Yeah, you gonna have to get a seat for this one. This one gonna knock your socks off.
Islam. I can't see you, but I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Oh, okay.
Grab me some water real quick.
Yeah, I had to get me a little cup of coffee. I just got off work.
Yeah, you better get a cup of coffee, cause this ain't gonna. Matter of fact, you don't need no coffee. These lessons gonna keep you woke.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, this gonna keep you at the edge of your seat.
Yeah.
So give me like 2 minutes. I hope everybody who coming in right now will share this, because I think every Moorish American should tune into this right now.
All right. Well, look. I'm gonna go to my Facebook page so I
Share
can
it,
share.
brother. I think every Moorish American need to share this.
Okay.
And we're going to give it a minute for them to share it. I'm going to share it because this is an important demonstration tonight.
Okay. Let me get this done. Hold on. Give me a second. Let's get this connected. Let's get this together. Praise Allah, baby.
Right. Let me set my phone up. Go to this.
Fall out, baby.
Yeah.
There we go.
Everybody and mama should be sharing this demonstration.
Okay, I'm gonna go to Facebook right now.
I'm telling you, everybody think they know Moorish science until Tahaka Bay start to teach. No, I'm just playing. They gonna get mad at me. they gonna accuse me of some stuff. Where my phone stand at, so I can go live on Facebook for at least a second and let the brothers and sisters know what we're doing here.
There we go.
My phone stand somewhere.
Let me share this right now.
Yeah.
Share this too.
I mean, if anybody wants some real lessons, I mean, you come right here and get them. I mean, you want some lessons. You give them away. You ain't got to pay for them. I mean,
so you ain't got to pay for them, huh?
No, you ain't got to pay for these. You ain't got to give me your birth certificate. You ain't got to give me none of that. You ain't got to do none of that. All you got to do is show up. And the difference between me and everybody else, you can ask me anything you want. See, I ain't going to talk about study. I did that for you. But I want you to research the researcher. Research me. Do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I ain't gonna tell you study. If I don't know, I'm gonna tell you I don't know. But what I would love for you to do is research what I teach and tell me I'm wrong. How about that?
There we go. Share now. There you go. Okay, now we work. Let's see. I want to make sure that pop up on that feed.
Yeah. So anyway.
There we go.
All right, we good.
There we go. Now I'm back on the pop.
All right. Let's get everything together now. I'm about to set my phone up so I can go live on Facebook real quick and let them know what these teachers is about.
Yes, sir.
This real business here.
Hey, I've heard I ain't never met a more like you.
And you ain't never ever going to meet one again. You better know it.
All right, dear.
You better know it.
I love what you're doing, more. I love it.
Hey, don't you been I said too much. Don't say you love what I'm doing too much. Them old Moors gonna come get you. They don't like this stuff. They want to keep this stuff secret.
It ain't about that. You can't keep it a secret. Or
they just don't know. You follow me? Give me one. Let me give me 1 1 second. I'm about to load up my Facebook and let them know that we live and hit the link. Hold on, let me get the link first. Let me get the link. Man, we're gonna be riding out in like 2 minutes.
All right.
2 minutes. All
right. Man, I'm gonna get you that picture Thursday. I get my hair cut. My barber went out of town. Man, I'm looking wild.
We live. Hit the link. The link. I gotta hurry up too, because I got a lot I want to cover.
That's what I'm talking about.
I got a lot I want to cover. Okay, what we talking about? The last thing we're gonna talk about is the charter. We're gonna hit that little stuff first. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm gonna name this questions by T Page L. T Page L T.
Hey, Moore, you know what? I got a question. Why do a lot of Moors call it ill? When you pronounce it, it say L.
But it's wherever you. It's just dialect. That's all it is.
Okay.
That's all it is.
Because they was correcting me. Like, no, your brother, your last name is L. I mean, ill. I say, man, it's L.
Hey, bro. That's that petty stuff, man.
Yeah, I'm like
tomato, man.
Dang, I say what? All right, then. They asked me 8 times in the meeting. What's your last name? L.
Man, it's tomato, man. They playing.
Yeah, I said, man, what in the world? I see, man, maybe I'm lost. When L. You don't get that? Maybe I'm lost.
Man, that's that old stuff, man. That's why, man. I mean, I'm so glad, man. I ain't caught up in that goofy stuff, man. Man, we live in the real world, man. We need to put that silly stuff away.
Yes. See, and that was gonna be another. See, I had some more questions. I was thinking at work. This is stuff I came up with last night, just thinking. And I'm like, man, I got some more.
You do? Well, let's get them at the end.
No. I think I gotta remember the other question, but
there go my point.
I got one of the questions I gotta ask you in Sunday school. I can't ask you that on here.
Man, you can ask me any question you want.
No, I'd rather put it on in Sunday school.
There ain't nothing you can say. Well, listen, man. That day is gone where we gotta conceal the truth. You can ask me anything you want, more.
Okay.
I'm for real.
No, I know, but I just.
Did Prophet Noble Drew Ali have 1,300 wives? Was the prophet gay? I don't care what you ask.
Man, hold on. I never asked you that dumb.
No, I'm being facetious, but I'm real serious. You can ask me anything, man. I done heard it all. Prophet Noble Drew Ali, 8 nails. All type of stuff, man. That don't never surprise me no more. So I say, let's do it and get it out the way, and so we can move on.
Mm-hmm. All right, what question you want first?
Save the authority one for last, though.
Okay.
Because I want to break down some stuff, so you can go with anything you want. Actually, give me 1 second.
Okay, the charter. Yeah, that was my first. Okay,
I'm just trying to set my phone up.
I never knew about that George Lauder though.
Oh.
I ain't know brothers was ordering the fezes off lauder.com.
Yeah.
I say, man, if I want the black fans, all I gotta do is order them.
That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. And then put it on and call yourself all these simple names.
Yeah, and I'm a dap. I can give me a dap badge. I'm a dap, baby.
That's right.
I ain't heard nothing, but I'm it.
That's right. You can go order it offline and then start talking crazy. Tell them, but you add that. Talking crazy with a blunt in your mouth.
With a blunt in your mouth.
With a blunt in your mouth. High as a kite. Tell them, but I'm gonna add that. But it ain't there. At the Moorish Science Temple, America.
Hey.
The prophet said, just keep on quoting the prophet. That's all you gotta do. Yeah, just
take you to another level.
Yeah, learn how to quote a little bit, and you be all right. I tell you, that's what these jokers do. But we on the hill today.
Okay.
We on the hill today. Let me make sure I'm looking all right up in here.
Okay.
The camera shot good. Yeah, we about to get right, family. We about to get right. I got T-Page L. I ain't say T-Pain L. I said T-Page L. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna do no auto-tune on this demonstration. Hold up, man. Let me go.
It's long.
Yeah. Let me see. So we live on Facebook, family. Listen, I got my brother T-Page L up in here, not T-Pain L. We ain't doing no auto-tune. This is gonna be the real deal Holyfield. And tonight, on this very stage here, right here on Channel 7. Oh, yeah. I need all Moorish Americans, all Moors proclaim, non-proclaim, whoever you are. I need y'all to come in. If you think you know Moorish science, if you think you know Islamism, then come on up here. Give me a shot. Show me what you got. So with that being said, family, I'm here in the Moorish World TV studios with my brother T-Page L. No, E-L, same thing. He just said, somebody said they told him his name was L, and he said Eel. They say Eel. He said L. He say Eel. They say L. He said, what in the world is going on? I said, man, tomato. These boys are crazy like Serrata. I just made that up. But with that being said, family, we got a serious talk on not on Moorish World TV, on the Moorish Science Temple of America channel. It's called Channel 7. And it's called Channel 7 because channel represents the perfected truth. Channel 7 represents the perfected truth. 7 is the number of perfection, and it represents the perfected truth. So today, on this very here preview program, show, whatever you want to call it, we're going to be talking about the unadulterated truth. You follow me? We're going to be talking about the unadulterated truth. And one of the main topics that we are going to be focused on is authority, charter. What is a legitimate Moorish Science Temple of America? What is a legitimate chartered Moorish Science Temple of America? According to the teachings of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Not according to what I say. You follow me? Uh-oh. They say the mic is low. Not according to what I say, but according to what Prophet Noble Drew Ali say. Thank you, Smith Bay. Again, what we're talking about is what is an official Moorish Science Temple of America. Not according to what Tahaka Bey say, but according to what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali said. So if anybody on Facebook is interested, please come in to the chat on YouTube. I am going to right now put the link in the chat, okay? So let me put a comment in the chat. I'm going to put a link into the chat so everybody can come up in here and hear these feelings hurting type of teachings. It's going to hurt some feelings. Feelings is nothing more than feelings. But they gonna get hurt today. because we got many people just calling themselves the Moorish Science Temple of America, and they may mean good, they may mean well. But after this show, I'm going to show you what the prophet movement is really about. Not saying that I'm the end all be all to the science of what the prophet has given us, but I can tell you what, until somebody can step forth and show that I am wrong or out of order, this will be the standard. So with that being said, first and foremost, I rise, giving praise to the great God of the universal law. I give honor to his prophet, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I'm talking about this is the greatest man who manifested the power of God on this side of heaven. I'm trying to tell you, wait till I break this down to you. You'll be like, whoa, whoa. I'm telling you, I wouldn't know this without Prophet Noble Drew Ali. He is an extension of Allah. I'm trying to tell you. So I want y'all to stick with me because we're about to break it down. How we are supposed to govern ourselves. And the good thing about it is, honor to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, not only did he leave his footprints clearly cut for us to see what it looked like, but he also left it clearly cut for us to see what it don't look like. Check that out. So we know what it don't look like. So you can't fool me. Fool me once. You know how the saying go. So with that being said, let me allow my brother to come in, Brother T. Page L, my co-host and my question asker. We give him a new title. He's the question asker for Channel 7. Brother, tell us where you calling from. Introduce yourself, my brother.
All right. Islam, everybody. I rise, I give praise to the great God, Allah. I give honors to, like you said, one of the coldest man to ever walk this earth, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the world's prophet. I give honors to Marcus Mosiah Garvey, the forerunner of the prophet. And I give honors in conjunction with Tahaka Beck. My name is T. Page L, coming from Detroit, Michigan. Islam, 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 Islam. I yield the floor back to you, brother. I can't hear you more. I can't hear you.
So do we have any buzz? Let me make sure. Let me turn it to the channel. Make sure we don't have no buzz in there. I don't want no buzz. I don't want nothing. I want to give everybody raw, unadulterated truth. So let's make sure we don't have no buzz up in here. You know what I'm saying? Give me 1 second. I don't want nobody to have no buzz. I don't want no excuses. Let me listen to this real quick. Oh, no, we sound real good. Okay, we sound real good, family. We sound real good. I want y'all to get all the Moorish nationals, Rise of the Moors, and everybody you can to come in and view this. So, brother, start with any question you like besides the main theme of this presentation, which is what's a legitimate Moorish Science Temple of America? I think it sounds something like that. I think it goes something like that. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? What in the world is going on? You can't hear me?
Islam, I can't hear you.
I can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
I can't hear you. Maybe it's on my end. Hold on for a quick second. Oh, let me disconnect this and come right back.
Yeah, I can hear you real good. I'm ready to lay this all out. I had to put Moorish World TV on the side for the night. I wanted to dig deep. You know what I mean? So let me say, family, if y'all are interested in supporting, oh my goodness, we got Moors in America here. Yes, indeed, my brother. Let me Page out. I can hear you. Can you hear me? So he's going to come out and come back in. So when he come out and come back in, let me get my stuff ready. So I think he's going to ask me a couple questions. I'm not prepared to know what questions he's going to ask, but let me get my stuff ready just in case. just in case. I got an arsenal. I got an arsenal, family. I'm gonna teach y'all. I'm gonna teach y'all today, family. Listen, even if you are a member of a Moorish Science Temple of America and y'all not living up to this standard, I'm gonna put the standard on the record. I can hear you good.
You can hear me good now?
Yeah, you can hear me too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you even more clear. What you with the wife cut off the Wi-Fi because you talk too much and Talk Bay scream too loud?
No, not today. I think it was playing tricks on me, man. I think it connected back to the Wi-Fi or something. So I had to cut it off
Oh yeah,
in the car.
the wife said Talk Bay scream so loud we only want him in the house.
No, I just know they're gonna be running through there.
Yeah. So more. What's the first one? Let's get started. More. What's the first question?
Oh, what are the 102s?
Okay. Now I'm gonna bring some facts here. So family, is anybody in the chat familiar with the 102s? Press 1. Anybody familiar with the 102s? Press 1. I'm going to tell you right now that the 102s are illegitimate. According to my research, the 102s was not around during the time of the Prophet. According to my research, the 102s is a Johnny come lately infiltration of infiltration of lessons. How do I say that? Well, first of all, I'm the receipt guy. Y'all know I'm the receipt guy, right? All right. So listen, a lot of people have used the 102s. Even a lot of elders have used the 102s. Case in point, you may even heard the 102s being quoted from some of your best leaders. I'm telling you that I will invite any leader to come up and prove me wrong. The 102s is a Johnny come lately, and I can prove it. Beyond a shadow of a doubt. Can I prove it emphatically? Probably not emphatically, because obviously I wasn't there with the prophet. But with the evidence, when we talk about evidence, the preponderance of the evidence will prove that they're not legit. The preponderance of the evidence. And again, what I will do is I will invite any leader of any faction of the Moorish Science Temple of America to come and prove me wrong. You hear that, Page L? You hear that, Page L?
Yes,
I will invite any leader of any faction of the Moorish Science Temple of America to come and prove me wrong. This is how confident I am. That's pretty confident, ain't it, brother?
Yes, it is, sir.
That's
very confident.
I'm like DJ K Slade. I'm the drama more. Yeah, I said DJ K Slade, the drama king. But I know y'all tired of the drama, so let's get to it, family. Let's get to it. So how do I qualify what I'm saying? The way that I qualify what I'm saying is very simple. Let me see if I can bring it up real quick. The way that I qualify what I'm saying, let me bring it up. Okay. 1 second. Hold up. Give me 1 second. I'm about to bring it up in a second. Give me 1 second. Bam. Okay. The way that I qualify what I'm saying is this. The original, can you see that, brother?
Yes.
The original Quran questionnaire for Moorish children are right in your face. That is the cover of it. Don't look familiar till you do it.
No.
That's right. I'm gonna give you the history of it. Let me go on my let me go and make sure that I gotta look on my Facebook in order. I know people are taking screenshots now. What is that? What is that? Where you get that from? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I just want to go here so I can see it. Okay. So what you're looking at right there, I just want to make sure that everybody can see it. So give me 1 second. My bad. Give me 1 second. So what you're looking at right there is the original questionnaire one-on-one, which most likely was the one that the prophet gave out. The one that you see with the picture of the prophet on front, that literally came soon after the prophet. You know what I'm saying? But let me qualify. When you look at the questionnaire, the 102s, you may get something like this, but you will not get nothing this old. How do we know that this is old? I want you to pay attention. In order to qualify certain things given to us by the prophet, one of the things that you have to pay attention to is the star and the crescent. The star and the crescent is always original. When you're doing research in the Moorish Science Temple of America, right? One thing you want to do is look at consistency, especially consistency in symbols. You know what I'm saying? Signs and symbols are for men of understanding. So when you look at this star and the crescent, you know it's consistent if you got enough ancient documents, and I'm going to say old documents from the Moorish Science Temple of America, you would know that this star and crescent is consistent with the star and crescent that the prophet used, the font, if you will. And the hand press is consistent with the hand press from the prophet Noble Ali. You follow what I'm saying? Also, when you look at the letters are consistent, as well as even these designs are consistent. But you would have to have some old documents in order to qualify what I'm saying. Now, where my brother T Page go? Hold up now. My brother had to go out for a second. I'm about to qualify this thing. Where my brother, I'm looking for my brother. He left out. I got to get him back in. I asked that everybody shared. Oh, he coming back in. I mean, there you go.
There we go.
Are you back, brother?
Yeah. I think it was the cord. I know what it is. I ain't connecting back to that cord no more.
All right. So
I'm
I don't
good.
want you to miss nothing. I don't want you to miss nothing.
I know. That's why you see me hurry up and get back in.
I got you. But I don't want you to miss nothing. So here we go. We about to get it back in. Now let me get back into the screen share. Hold up. Get back into the screen share. Did you follow me so far?
No.
Did you follow what I say so far?
No. No.
You missed everything?
Missed everything. I seen the correct questions.
All right, don't worry about it. So listen, when I'm gonna say it real quick to qualify the prophet's literature, the first thing you want to do is look at the icons. Look at the star and the crescent. Look at what's underneath of it. Look at the hand press, and you have to have old documents in order to qualify it. If you don't have old documents, then you would never be able to qualify it to be legitimate. Also, you look at the fonts that are used because these came from the same printing press. You follow what I'm saying? And so this is how you qualify. So this is an original cover of the original. Again, I would invite anybody to test me on this. This is the original cover of the original questionnaire for Moorish children. You follow me? It looked like this. It wasn't the prophet on the front in the beginning. So later years, you will find the 102 Quran question for Moorish children. And you will see that the font changed, the star, the crescent changed. Even when you go different variations of it, you'll see a change. But whenever you want to qualify something, always look at that Islam star and the crescent. See where the star is? You know what I mean? That's symbolic to something. The prophet got it like that for a reason. You know what I mean? The hand press, it means something. You know what I mean? All of this stuff means something. If you got an original nationality card, you will see the same star and the crescent. It matches. If you have original constitution and bylaw, you'll also see that it all matches. It all matches up. But when you get to the new stuff, it never matches up. You follow what I'm saying? So that's the first clue that somebody is playing games. Secondly, this picture that we see on the Quran question for Moorish children's today, you would notice it would say now on here, Quran questions for Moorish Americans. I'm messing with it. Quran question for Moorish Americans. You follow me?
Yes.
Which is okay, but this actually happened during probably 1929 per se. How do we know? Because this picture right here in Savior of Humanity comes out of the Holy, it doesn't come out of the Holy of Quran. It actually comes out of the Moorish Guide article. You see? And so what they did was they superimposed this drawing here from a newspaper article and put it on a cover. You see?
Yeah.
So this newspaper article here was for the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, which you read in your Moorish literature, for the thing you read in your Moorish literature called the Savior of Humanity. And you'll remember it. It goes, in this electrified age where men is racing in life without complete knowledge of where they are going or what the end will be, when riches seems to be their only pursuit. Remember that in your Moorish?
Yeah.
That came out of a newspaper. You understand what I'm saying? So what you're looking at is you're looking at an article from a newspaper, as well as you're looking at the article out of a newspaper, as well as the cartoon editorial that went with it. They took that cartoon editorial and put it and superimposed it on the cover, circa probably 1928 or the end of 28 or 29. And the reason why I say that, because you look at the address on it, and you look at the address on it, 3140. During the 3140, on 3140 Indiana Avenue, this is when Claude Green actually took over and said, I am the Grand Sheikh of the Moorish Science Temple of America. And a lot of things begin to shift and change at this time. Even the literature began to shift and change. And they tried to make a smooth transition. Now, let me qualify the 102s from the 101s. This is how we know that the 102s came late. Here we go. All right, this is the big one here. That's just commentary. All right, that can be debatable, but this can't. Nigga, commentary. All right, let me get it to you now. What you're looking at right here is from a newspaper article, and this comes out of the article for when the questionnaire. I was trying to pull up the questionnaire when it was written, and the language in it was the Moorish Holy Temple of Science. I didn't have time to pull it up, but I can put it in the I can put a PDF in the comment section later. But I do have a copy of the questionnaire before it was changed over to the Moorish Science Temple of America questionnaire, when it originally said the Moorish Holy Temple of Science. And the only thing that changed in that questionnaire was the Moorish Holy Temple of Science was changed to the Moorish Science Temple of America. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
Only thing that changed. Now, I pulled this one offline for the 102s because it's consistent with all the 102s. Now, the questions that have been changed is 3 or 4. But let's deal with it's 4, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm gonna, even if it's more than 4, I'm gonna deal with 4. Question number 58 states, where did they go? They went into Europe. Question 59 states, what is the modern name given to their children? Roman. What is the shade of their skin? Pale. What gave me a red flag on this is because the original questionnaire made sense to me. When you look at who are Adam and Eve, they are the ones who brought discord into the holy city of Mecca. That's 57.
Mm-hmm.
And were driven out. But the original one says, who are Adam and Eve? They are the mothers and fathers of the human family, Asiatics and Muslims. I'm like, hold up. Now, the whole time I've been in the Moorish Science Temple of America, that made sense to me. But then when I get to, like I said, I'm going to just deal with these questions. There's some more different questions, but these are the main ones. 57 states, who are Adam and Eve? They are the ones who brought about discord in the holy city of Mecca and was driven out. Where did they go? They went into Europe. What is the modern name of their children? Roman. What is the shade of their skin? Pale. Who is God in the holy city that they keep the unbelievers away? Angel. The theme begins to change a little bit. And so it allowed me to dig deeper and try to find out what happened. Why is this such a drastic change? And it really doesn't make sense. What is the modern name given to these angels? Arabians. Prophet Noble Drew Ali says, think not with Arabia. You know what I'm saying? And our holy record, the Quran. Like, hold on, this don't even make sense. I mean, Think not with Arabia that one soul is parted among many. I'm like, oh, this don't make sense. So what I did was I dug deep. Honor to D. Bailey L, for all the boxes and folders that he have. But I started to look at every questionnaire I could find. And what I come to find is something very simple. You see right here, as you can see right here, how many questions right here?
That's that
102,
102.
right?
Yeah.
In that questionnaire. But this questionnaire is an original questionnaire when it was retyped. Let me show you what happened. What happened was, go to question 59. And what's the next number behind 59? Can you see it?
61.
What's missing there?
60.
There you go. This is how the 102s was invented. Once they found out that this one, they didn't even acknowledge that there was a number missing. That's why right here you see 59, 60 is where the drama start. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
So in fact, if you put 60 in, you only got how many questions?
101.
101. So this is why the drama start around here. Now, who is the culprit of that? Who is the culprit of that? There only can be two people, because this is not ancient. Nobody can bring me a document that matches this original right here. This is the original. You see what I'm saying? So by the preponderance, so by the preponderance of the evidence, and listen, Moors in America, Bailey Hill is my guy. But let me tell you something. I discovered all of this stuff, you know what I mean, by the way of being inspired by Bailey Hill, as well as Edwards L. They didn't show me none of this stuff. I researched and found it myself. But I was inspired by people like David Bailey Hill, as well as Edwards L. Now, let me say this. So when you look at it, you can see clearly. That's why I say, that's why the drama start around from 57 to 63. You understand what I'm saying? Now, who was the culprit of that? One that was known to reinvent the lessons was R. German Bay and C. Kirkman Bay. Now, the jury is out. He also has a rendition of a questionnaire. You understand what I'm saying? He also has, and let me tell you, it was once said that the brother John Givensell also reinvented lessons. And I can get into that another time, where people read their Moorish literature. Some of that stuff is written by John Givensell, the reincarnated prophet, and they are attributing it to Prophet Noble Drew Ali. We can get into that another time. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Listen, they were trying to throw the prophet under the bus. They were getting rid of the prophet. You understand what I'm saying? They thought they were smarter than the prophet. You see what I'm saying? See, when you look at who is the mother and father, and then you look at where did they go? They went into Asia. That's relative to your skin being in the dust of Asia, your flesh being of the dust of Asia, you being an Asiatic. You see what I'm saying? And so none of it really makes sense. None of it really makes sense until you can really put it together. You know, in fact, you would have to have all the documents that I have in order to really see it really clearly. But what I'm telling you is that it takes two great points. I'm using Moorish Science Temple of America, great points. It takes two great points that you have to recognize. First, you got to have an original document to compare it against. You have to have multiple original documents to compare it against. And you got to look at, now, when somebody can show me an original 102, they can't. I can show you original 101, not an original, but a copy of the original. No one can even show you an original copy of the original 102s, because most likely, more than not, it came long after the prophet was gone.
Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I can trace the cover. I can trace everything. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
this is why I say right now, and I don't pull out all my guns. Mm-mm. I got the big ones. I'm like Big Pun. Hit him with the big guns. Yeah, I hit him with the big guns. Yeah, Big Pun say hit him with the big guns.
Yes, sir.
But the point that I'm making is I don't pull out all of my guns because I really do want someone to challenge me. I'm telling all the sheiks now, I want you to challenge me so people can learn. I think it's more exciting when you challenge me. Baby,
It's more exciting.
it is. Ain't it more interesting when you see a challenge? Man, would you rather see Mike Tyson shadow boxing or him in the ring in his prime?
In the ring in his prime.
Give it to me, come on. Give it to me, come on. My Buster Rhymes voice, give it to me.
Okay then.
So what's next, brother?
All right. Who changed the colors of the Adapt badge and crescent pins?
Well,
Or
now,
are they changed? Are they the original?
what do you mean change? What colors are you talking about?
The the blue background, yeah, the stuff on
I got
launch.
you. Okay.
I
Now,
just say that the stuff on launch.
all right, here we go. You want the truth. Now you say you want the truth. And
I
I'm gonna
want
give
the
you
truth
all right. All right.
because
So
I looked on George Lauder Corporation. Matter of fact, I got it up here, the icon. I looked it up. I'm like, man, I can get a black fez, a white fez.
you get whatever you want.
I can get me a DAP badge. Talking about I'm a DAP and I ain't been nowhere.
Now,
I don't know
you get
nothing.
whatever you want. Now that
Yeah.
stuff ain't right. So listen. So what happened is, under the leadership of Charles Kirkman Bey, he sold over the rights to Lauder to print this stuff. That's just what it is. Nobody can deny it. This is not, slander. This is not nothing. Slander is a lie. This is not a lie. He handed over the rights for them to do this demonstration. So when you're talking about are you talking about the buttons and the charm?
Yes.
All right. So now let me say this. This, first of all, the prophet never had this charm. This is clear. Now, but what I've discovered is that this charm with the love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice with the star, this charm was most likely designed by Claude Green, Kirkman Bey, as well as Gibbon Zell. Now, people might say, "Why you say that?" I got a demonstration come calling the hijacking of the nation 2.0. It's serious, and my research shows that those three were more than likely a part of the same Masonic organization. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
We know for a fact that the prophet didn't wear this button, or the Moors with the prophet didn't wear this button. And I'm only going to bring out a couple instances, but I will show you this. The prophet colors were always white and red. I didn't have time to pull everything out, but I can pull it all out. The prophet colors was always white and red. When you look at the orties and compounds of today, the colors are white and red. These were the prophet's colors. Let me stop sharing. Let me give it to you a buck real quick. Sultan, what you doing? Sultan gone crazy. Hold up. So as you look at the orties and compounds, see how that star and crescent is?
Mm-hmm.
That's consistent with the old star and crescent. You understand what
Okay.
I'm saying?
Yes.
Ain't no sitting out, ain't no the unpregnant lady. Nope. That crescent is pregnated. But you see the colors? These are the original prophet's colors. and it'll be agreed upon across the board. You follow what I'm saying? Now, in order to qualify this, because everything is in black and white, we would think that it makes it more difficult, but it really doesn't. It really doesn't make it more difficult. The reason why we know that the button, and I'm going to just show you one picture real quick. The reason why we know that the button was not that color, how do we know? Give me 1 second. Because I have multiple pictures, and I'll just use Sister, I think this is Sister Asap Bay. If that was blue on her head, you wouldn't be able to see it. But I got multiple examples of this bright white, what's the name? I got another picture of a lady in the back of this with the same thing. Let me see if I can find it. See this lady back here in the back?
Mm-hmm.
If that was blue, you wouldn't be able to see it. But I got other evidence too. You understand what I'm saying? You wouldn't be able to see it if it was dark blue. If it was, oh, I'm going too fast. If it was dark blue like this, 9 times out of 10 in a black and white picture, you wouldn't be able to see it. And I've had some black and white pictures later on with C. Kirkman Bay with that one in that you really can't see. You see what I'm saying? But with that being said, what is this all about? Like I say, by the preponderance of the evidence, what you're looking at is something that's clearly was a hijack. When you look at the blue in the back and the yellow, or the mustard, or whatever you want to call it, when you look at this right here, you know what I'm saying? You know, and I know that these colors represent something that's right in front of your face. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what these colors represent?
No, that look like some Masonic stuff.
It looked like
Look like, yeah, well,
blue,
let's say,
yellow, huh?
yeah.
Okay. What lodge is that? Come on, boy. Let's keep it a buck. Let's stop playing now. Let's stop playing now. All right. Stop playing now. When you look at the prophet's charm, you see that? There's nowhere in the world, even blurry, could that be blue. Look at the prophet's charm there. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
There's nowhere in the world that could be blue. Could it?
Yeah.
Or am I
No,
wrong?
I couldn't. No, I couldn't.
Come on, man.
It couldn't. You know, like that's the first time I really seen the charm.
Man, let me tell you something. Gotta make a change for once in my life. Brother, one of the things that I say all the time, we ain't gonna get to this divine movement until we get back on the divine path. Gotta make a change.
And I got bad eyesight. I can see that.
Life. I gotta be real good. Gonna make a difference. Gonna make it right. Brother, please tell. Brother, we gotta make it right. Brother, it's been a takeover of the Moorish Science Temple of America, and the takeover continue on. And many of us is a part of the takeover and don't even know it by default. Again, I'm not giving all of my research on this panel today, but if anyone wished to challenge me, they're welcome to come and challenge me. Paige Ellis, can you repeat that for me? So if they think that's all I got?
Repeat what? What do you want me to repeat?
If they want to challenge my information, they're welcome to come here and challenge me. Just bring information.
Yeah. They can come to Moorish World. They can come directly here to Channel 7. They want to challenge you. Hey, he said he calling out all sheiks, sheikesses, whoever. Bring your information, and we can sit down at the table. That's what the brother said.
Listen, my mission is this. This is my mission. This is my mission. The prophet gave us a divine movement.
Mm-hmm.
I know the reason why it hasn't worked. because someone came in and changed it. The signs and symbols, these are all energy. This is energy. Colors are energy. You know, when you look at the chakras, the colors of the chakras represent energy fields. So everything that the prophet did represent energy fields. So when we begin to change the design of a thing, we begin to change the what it represented, the colors and the wording and all of that, it begins to deplete it of its power. Everything is done for a reason. There's a message in this red and white. You know what I'm saying? There's a message in it. So soon as somebody change it, soon somebody take this star and the crescent and they put the crescent outside. They put the crescent outside of the star outside of the crescent. It changes the message. Whenever you move this star, it changes the message. So when you change the message, there is no way that you're able to get on, as they like to say in today's language, code. You can't, because there's symbolism throughout the Moorish doctrine everywhere. It's a high science. You know what I mean? It's a high science. You can't change it. You know what I mean? And anyone who changed it, they did it for a reason. And the reason was so you cannot find your way back. Keep confusion going, man. Some of your brothers will put you into slavery, but that's that. What's the next one, brother? I'm just giving people some crumbs to get on back to the Wizard of Oz.
All right, my next one is who can all join the Moorish Science Temple of America? Is it open for everybody? Is only open for certain people? Who is it open for?
So, brother, that's a great question. That's a great question. And the reason why that's a good question, I think it's a simple question, but the reason why it's a good question because a lot of people want to bring Europeans into the temple, and they want to act as if that it's okay for Europeans to be in, a part, and everything. Let me say this. Europeans cannot be a member of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Yet Europeans can be sympathizers. You follow what I'm saying? Now, what are we talking about? How do I qualify that? I don't talk without qualifying. Let's go to Act 6 of the Divine Constitution and Bylaws. Act 6 reads as follows: with us, all members. So to be in the Moorish Science Temple of America, you must be a member. With us, all members. It's a membership organization. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality. And we're teaching our people. Who is our people? All right.
Asiatic, the Moorish descent.
Our people, their nationality, and divine creed. Follow me? That they may know they are part and parcel of this said government and know that they are not Negroes. Europeans were never called Negroes. They were never called color folks. They were never called black people. They were never called Ethiopians. Because these names were given to who? What is this organization about? Because these names were given to who? To slaves. By who? By slave holders. This is a ex-slave organization. Let's keep it a buck. During the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now. And all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live in the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. Who is this for? The Moorish Americans are descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. So now the question is, who can join the Moorish Science Temple of America? Ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Yeah. And let me tell you, the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwest and southwestern shores of Africa, was spread off to Northwest, South Central America and the Atlantis Islands. So this is the uniting of Asia. Asiatics can join. That's it. This is not the uniting of Europeans and playing trick language. No, this is the uniting of Asia. You know what I mean? This is the uniting of Asia. That doesn't mean, let me tell you something. Race pride doesn't mean racism. That doesn't mean that we have a disdain or hate for Europeans. That doesn't mean that we want to see harm done to any other group of people. But this organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is about the uniting of Asia. I mean, that's what it's about. Who are the Asiatics? Us. I mean, that's very simple. Many people don't know how to express this without feeling guilty of feeling racist or feeling prejudiced. I don't feel guilty. I'm not racist.
Because I look at it like you have to go back in your mindset of 1913. You got to go back in those days. You can't come out of a 2020 point of view. You got to go back in the day, right? Where people was at low self-esteem, low, right? So he calling all everybody that low, like, come on, let me show you what you about. Absolutely. Let me show you this vast state that's yours.
That's right.
Let me put you, in other words, let me put you up on game.
Absolutely.
They tricked you.
Absolutely. And the thing is that many people that were claiming to be Moors and claiming to be free, they so in love with someone other than themselves that they want to be all inclusive. But this is not all inclusive. No matter what the American theology or philosophy is of the day, this is not all inclusive. Like you can't be a practicing homosexual in the Moorish Science Temple of America. This ain't the place for that. You know what I mean? I mean, you're not kissing a man in the temple. You ain't kissing a woman in the temple. I don't care what y'all do, but you ain't doing that in the temple. This is not the place for that. Do we hate you? Absolutely not. Do I want to see harm come to you? Absolutely not. Do I want to see you be successful? For sure. But the Moorish Science Temple of America is not the place to marry you.
It's not the Hey, no. Listen, it's funny because I was talking to my co-worker, my African brother, buddy. He from Gambia, right? Came over here, became a citizen, right? And he, we chop it up, we talk about it. And we him was talking today. He was like, "Well, we got on the same subject." He said, "Well, man, do you know if we had a?" He said, "Well, listen, this is hyperbole." He said, "If we had a gay imam, he was low key, low key. When we found out, man, he come. He said, man, he might get killed, man. They think he playing with our worship. We thought we was, man. We thought we was all together, man. Whoa, this what mosque I was coming to. What, man? You done tricked me." So I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, but the thing is that we need to learn to love instead of hate, and we've been taught in America that learning to love is hugging and kissing people in the mouth. That ain't love. No, love of self is the self-preservation of self and your kind and your divine creed. That's the love of self. You want to perpetuate it into generations on into the future. I mean, so that's just what it is. So who can join the Moorish Science Temple of America? Those who are descendants of the inhabitants of Africa. Asiatics, those who have the true Canaanite blood and Moabite blood.
All right. Now I got a question. No, I'm not gonna ask that question because if I ask this question, it's gonna take us off. It's gonna take us off topic.
No, it ain't. Come on.
You know how it said that Prophet Muhammad was a part of the temple before he wasn't. Okay, so that ends the question. Good.
Yeah. Now let me tell you this. Prophet Muhammad was not a part of the temple. He wasn't a part of the temple, but he came right after He got out of prison in 19. The prophet passed in July 1929. He got out of prison the next month, and then he traveled a few months later to Detroit. And when he got to Detroit, he was going to in-house temples, and that's how he
Okay.
was recruiting. They had over 4,000 members in Detroit, and everybody wasn't going into one temple because it was too many people. So a lot of people held temple into their house. And so, as they said, he was the silk salesman. And in fact, he was a pharmaceutical salesman. And he went from
Hmm.
door to door. And that's how we began to recruit the Moors from the Moorish Science Temple of America. He was going door to door.
But the only reason why I mentioned him because he was saying he was from Mecca. That's why I was trying to understand. Like, well, hold on. Well, how, if they saying he was a part of the temple, how did he join?
But he wasn't from Mecca.
Okay. Oh,
But that's a whole
oh,
nother
okay.
story too. That's a
Yeah,
whole
that's all. No, I ain't trying to get in there.
nother.
Okay. Okay. Next question. Is there a lot about what? Um, is there a lot about what Noble Drew Ali brought that is not taught to membership? I'm not talking about a depth lesson. A lot of the lessons. Is there some lessons that we're not being taught? Like something about Noble Drew Ali that's not being taught to the membership. That is not.
um,
And I'm not talking about a depth lessons or
well, no.
nothing like
My
that.
thing is this: I probably I wouldn't be in the right place to say that is not being taught the membership because I haven't been to every temple. You know what I'm saying? I've been to
Yes.
a lot, but from the reflection of what is being presented to the public, I say that most of what we're talking about today and what we have been talking about the last few weeks is not being taught in the temples. You know what I mean?
Okay.
The true lessons of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I think one of the things that I know is not being taught in the temple for real is as we pride ourselves on in the noble temples is resurrecting ourselves into the flesh and blood of Allah. I don't think people talk. They scared to talk about that. That you are Allah
Mm-hmm.
in the flesh. You're microcosmic. You're not the macro. We haven't achieved the ability that comes with the potencies of being the seed of Allah, but we still the seed, so that makes us art. Because man is not the body nor the soul, he's spirit and part of Allah. I don't believe that is taught in the temple. I don't believe the greatest potential of man is taught in the temple. The greatest potential of man is returning to their God self. You see what I'm saying? Their
Mm-hmm.
Allah self. I don't think that's being taught in the temple. I think we got a lot of singing and dancing, not even dancing. We sound like going to a funeral some of these places. You know what I mean? Yeah. Wait in the water. Man, I ain't waiting in no water. I'm good. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's one thing that I know ain't being taught because if it was, I think we would see a change overnight because people would know their capabilities. They would know their God capabilities. You feel what I'm saying? And they would
Mm-hmm.
strive harder than what we see going on. So that's one thing I feel is not being taught. I mean,
Okay.
or not being emphasized, put it that way. But I can't say for sure because I ain't in all temples.
Okay. Well, I know you are a noble temple, so I got a question for you.
There you go.
What is the aim and goals of the noble temples?
The aim and goal of the noble temples is very simple.
What's the plan?
Okay, I'm about to give it to you. The aim and goal of the noble temple is Prophet Noble Drew Ali's plan, which he called and was referred to the divine plan of the ages. And what is that? The divine plan of the ages is what the lessons have shown me and history have shown me that we must come from organization to a full-fledged developed nation. Now that's a big leap.
Mm-hmm.
Half of us can't even participate in the organization in order to get to a nation. So, in order to do that, and I would say it here because it's so many layers to it that it would take someone really dedicated. They're going to have to put down the weed. They're going to have to put down the drink. They're going to have to put down the club. They're going to have to put down the women. They're going to have to get married. They're going to have to stay focused. But I mean, it's going to take some serious dedication for this plan. So I can say it right here because I know many people ain't going to do what it takes to do it anyway. So they ain't got what it takes. It's too much work. Man, our brothers and sisters still slaves with the feds on. They ain't got to listen. First of all, there's a political component. The political component consists on local temples controlling the local area politically. And it's a step-by-step plan for that. You have to know that step-by-step plan. Politically.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali gave us an example with 22 temples. Some people say 15. Well, let's deal with 15. He gave us an example with 15 temples in strategic areas throughout the United States. In order to understand the plan, you have to understand where these temples was, what was the possibility of them overtaking the political process of that area, and what was the likelihood that it could be a success. So you have to study those areas, you know what I mean, number one. And then you have to study what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali did in order to usher in that political power. You follow me? He showed you in Chicago how he did it. You know what I'm saying? He put a judge in office. He put a couple aldermen in office. He put Oscar the Priest in Congress. He put, he shows you how to do it. And so that blueprint right there is the ultimate way to do it. We call it the Alliance for Political Accountability over here at the Noble Temples, right? So you have to understand the political. You have to understand the political program first. We call it the Alliance, right? And anybody can work this program. You don't have to be in the Moorish Science Temple of America, because Prophet Noble Drew Ali worked in concert with all people of the Asiatic race. That's a lie where people try to push too, that Moors need to come together. No, like minds need to come together, and hopefully they understand what this Moorish paradigm is about and proclaim that nationality. We shouldn't have to twist your wrist to be yourself. But with that being said, so there's a political plan. Then there's an economic plan. And all this, what I'm talking about, starts locally, right? The economic plan is that you must have businesses, essential businesses, grocery stores. During the time of the Prophet, they had grocery stores, ice stores, laundromats. You see, these was essentials. You see what I'm saying? People liked ice. You follow me? It was a new thing. They liked it. So they sold ice. This is how Temple Number 4 raised a lot of money in Detroit. They had an ice store and they had a grocery store. Barbershops was big then too. You see what I'm saying? So the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, he owned a moving company because many people was moving from down south. It only makes sense. People was migrating from down south. You see what I'm saying? Prophet Noble Drew Ali owned the printing press with the Moorish Guide. Prophet Noble Drew Ali owned the Moorish Manufacturing Corporation, would manufacture oil, teas, and compounds for healing, medicinal purposes that was natural and holistic. Why? Because there wasn't a Rite Aid on every corner. You know what I'm saying? And many of the people that came from down south, they was already using natural herbs from the field in order to heal themselves. So it only made sense. See, people try to make that Prophet Noble Drew Ali was a snake oil salesman, but this is what people was doing anyway. Prophet Noble Drew Ali just had the more potent degree to get people healthy, and it was a success. So the point that I'm making is that economically, you got to think about industry. Prophet Noble Drew Ali talked about industry. Industry means that you take over a thing. You industrialize a thing. You make it yourself. You are the producer and not the consumer. You know what I'm saying? So you produce it, you package it, and you sell it, and you profit it, and then you repeat it. That's industry. You at the beginning of the assembly line. You know what I'm saying? And you're at the end. Industry. You feel what I'm saying? So it got to be an economic plan, and you got to know that economic plan in order to be successful in the Moorish Science Temple of America. So we know this economic plan. We slowly putting it together. You know what I'm saying? We got people in position to put this thing together. We had a plan this year to start to execute some of it, but then COVID-19 kicked in. But it is what it is. It slowed the process, but it ain't stopping. So you got the political, you got the economic, then you can't forget the educational plan. The educational plan is you can't have your children to be educated by the same one that seek to oppress you. You got to educate your own children, and you have to be confident in yourself that you can educate your own children. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, the COVID-19 has put parents and their children in the same house where parents was forced to play a part in the educating of their children. But ultimately, this is why I say there's too much work for anybody to do. You got to put the weed down. You got to put that drink down.
Huh? Tell you
Yeah,
about
you got to
it.
put that down.
I just messing with you.
It's too much involved. You see what I'm saying? So you got the political, you got the economical, you got the educational. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
Then you got to put together the cultural program. What is the cultural program? What do a Moor do? What do a Moor eat? What do a Moor celebrate? What do a Moor dress like? What do a Moor act like? The prophet said, I bought you everything you need to save a nation. Now take it and save yourself. In other words, I like to use the example that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali has went to Home Depot, put everything on a flatbed. Now we got to pull it off and build it from the example that he gave us. He gave us example in a 3 year span. You know what I'm saying? So the reason why I don't dress up with the funny shoes curled at the front like a joker, you know what I mean? Honor to those that do, you know what I mean? I don't dress up in the garbs all the time, you know what I'm saying? Honor to those that do. Because when I look at Prophet Noble Drew Ali, when he was in Mexico, he was wearing a sombrero and a suit. He wasn't T-top sharp, looking like one of these Moors that you see today. He was like a regular guy with a sombrero on. I mean, when I look at the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, on the in fact, let me pull it up real quick. When I look at the Prophet Noble Drew Ali on the Divine Constitution and bylaws, I notice that underneath of that robe, he can take it off and he's ready for business. He can take off that
Mm-hmm.
fez, he can take off that robe, and he's ready for business. You know what I'm saying? And in fact,
Mm-hmm.
when you understand the degree of this, and I broke it down before, this robe, you never seen a Muslim of the East persuasion and the Arabs wear no robe like this. They don't wear no robe like this. Anybody ever question that? This robe is from India. This is an Indian type of robe. You follow me? Because we honor the true and divine prophets, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, and Confucius. But Jesus, where did Jesus teach? India, check the robe. Africa, the fez. Europe, the tie, shirt and tie. Where did Jesus teach? India, Africa, and Europe. All of these are symbolic. I'm giving them too much too fast, brother.
Woo! Woo! You just put something together on me right there. I ain't never even. Oh man.
Hey,
Okay.
brother, I'm teaching too fast for man. You gotta watch
Hey,
me, man. The
yeah.
prophet raised me well. The prophet
Yes.
taught
Yes,
me
sir.
well, brother. Brother, so when people say, why are you wearing them Western garbs? Because where did Jesus teach? India, Africa, and Europe. Talk to me. Huh? Is that what it said?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on, man. So somebody said, what was the bow tie demonstration? Same thing. A tie is a tie is a tie.
That's
I
what you
demonstrate.
like. That's your personal preference.
No, I demonstrate the bow tie demonstration. Let me show you why I demonstrate the bow tie
Oh, okay.
demonstration. Let me show you why. Where's my brother at, man? If I can find it while you're talking. Well, let me tell you, it was a brother named Ross Bay. If I can find it, I can find it real quick. I'm gonna see if I can find it. It's a brother named Ross Bay, and Ross Bay was the uh, uh, he used to go on the road with the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and Ross Bay was the supreme publicity director, as well as, and I might be getting this wrong, I might be chopping it up, but he held it down for the media and for the promotion of the Moorish Science Temple of America. You follow me? He
Mm-hmm.
was, and also he was one of the editors of the Moorish Guide. Follow me? With that being said, family, let me show you Richard Ross Bay. Give me 1 second. Want to know why I wear the bow tie? The Nation of Islam got it from us. Don't worry. See that? 1928, Richard Ross Bay. He was on the road with Prophet Noble Drew Ali. What he got on? Talk to me.
I got the bow
Talk
tie.
to me. He was the publicity director for the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, which you would call the media man. Talk to me. Man, come on, man. I demonstrate the science, man. I'm giving them too much. I'm giving them too much. Somebody stop me. Somebody stop me.
The king of Moorish media, baby.
Hey, brother, somebody stop me. Hey, brother, I know people think I be clowning, but brother, it's a science to this.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, brother. That's right. And I can prove everything. Bro, hold up. Let me give you this real quick. Let me show you where Richard Ross Bay at. Just to be clear. Richard Ross Bay, just like your brother Talker Bay, we in the same thing. I want you to read that real quick. Read the second line underneath the prophet. Who is the editor?
Richard H. Ross Bay.
Talk to me. Talk to me, man. Slow down, son. You're killing them. You filling them with cocaine, got a fast enough, but to get blasted. Islam, my wife in the chat. I better hurry up because she gonna get on me. She tried to call me like I knew he was on there. I told her I was teaching today. Hey, brother, hold up, Page L. How you feel? We halfway through.
Uh-huh.
How you feel about this demonstration?
I like it. I feel good.
That's it.
I feel good.
That's all I get.
No.
And I'm excited.
You supposed to be. You know what? Let me get amped up like you.
No, you good. When somebody, that's why you're a good host, because you're a good co-host. Because both of us can't be like this. Hey, and let me tell you something, Page L. Let me tell you something. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali mentions in our Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America that when it's time, when Allah see appointed, that He will allow us to read from the sacred record. He will allow us to see the record from Allah's book of remembrance. Brother, I'm telling you, and I'm not putting myself on no pedestal, but I done tapped into some stuff and I'm excited. That's why I stay excited. I done tapped into some stuff, and I'm so confident. And I'm so confident into what I tapped into that I invite for a brotherly challenge. I invite for a brotherly challenge. Let's get through the truth. Do we want the truth? It's not a reckless debate. It's a debate about getting to truth, or a dialogue about getting to truth. And on this last segment that we're going to cover about authority, man, we're going to get busy. So let me answer Sonny Boxing. That's my brother. I need to send him the link because he coming on home to the Noble Temples too. So the Prophet did not have muftis according to my research. No. Secondly, the Prophet did not nationalize. No. But we can get into the deeper conversation with that later. But no, from my research, the Prophet did not have muftis. No. And I can prove it by the ponderance of the evidence. I can prove it. I got some stuff that'll rock people boat, man. I got some stuff that'll rock people boat. They be like, I'm seasick. I'm seasick. No, he didn't have no. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna say it like this for my brother Sonny Box. I love that brother, man. That brother been rocking with me for a long time, man. And I'm gonna say this for my brother. The Prophet did not put his security on Front Street. I'm gonna say it again, like Dr. Umar Johnson would do. I might say it 3 more times. Everybody watch Dr. Umar. He said things like 5 times. He did not have his security on Front Street. This is why nobody knew of a Law L. Nobody knew of a Law L until it was time. Anybody know who a Law L was? Ivor Johnson Bay, the one that kidnapped Kirkman Bay, the one that went after all those who crossed the Prophet. His son, Jackson Bay, and quite a few others. Nobody knew about these guys until it was time. I'll leave that at that. Prophet didn't have no muftis. Nobody knew about these people until the police was coming to get them for taking some heads off. Watch it. Watch it down. Watch it down.
Say we got one to go.
You understand what I'm talking about? Hey, brother, you get me?
Yeah, we got one to go. Yeah.
Man, what we got?
All right. My last question is
Family, I
basically
want y'all to subscribe to this channel. Hold up 1 second. I want y'all to subscribe. I want y'all to thumbs up, family. We're going to blow this channel up because if y'all want to learn more science, this is where it's at. Again, anybody can come on here and respectfully disagree. Only thing I ask is this. Many shows that you see on YouTube is always somebody just talking. The only thing I ask, if you're talking, bring some sort of evidence. You don't have to have a complete plethora, if I'm saying it right, of documentation, but bring something with you. Just don't come to Channel 7 talking. If you just come disagree, this ain't the place for that. This is a show and prove platform. So, say for instance, Rise of the Moors wanted to come on here and talk about Moorish science or Taj Tariq Bey. We're not going to just talk this out. I need you to show me according to the prophet because I'm going to show you according to the prophet. Period. And now, my co-host T-Page L with the last question of the night.
Is the MST of A Noble Temples a lawfully chartered and incorporated organization?
Absolutely. What that brings me to, though, let's talk about what a chartered temple is. Now, first of all, if one, and I'm not going to bring out all of our documentation, but if one wishes to find our documentation, all you have to do will go to the county of Cook and you can pull it up, look up the Moorish Science Temple of America, and you'll be able to find it. Now, with that being said, but absolutely we are. Absolutely 100 grand uncut we are. But now, what does that mean? Many people used to always say, what are you talking about? You don't have authority. Braswell Bay boys used to do that all the time. They real quiet now. I don't know why they got so quiet. But they used to come at me sideways. You ain't got no authority. Like, do these fools know what authority is? Y'all not fools no more. I'm just saying back then. Like, do they really know what that is?
Tell them who gave you the authority.
Huh?
Tell the world who gave you
I'm
the
about to
authority.
give it to you. I'm about to give
Okay.
it to you. So first of all, when people used to say that, I used to be like, do they even know what this is? First of all, authority is a legal terminology. You see what I'm saying? So in order for one to have authority, you have to have legal standing. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
You have to have legal standing. For example, for a person to have authority for a 7-Eleven, they will have to have legal standing as being a 7-Eleven or McDonald's, whatever. The difference between a 7-Eleven, right, and a Moorish Science Temple of America are drastically different. The reason why is the Moorish Science Temple of America is a component that houses the religion of Islamism. Understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The church is the component that houses the religion of what?
Say it again.
The church is the component that houses the religion of what?
Christianity.
Christianity. The masjid is the component that houses the religion of what?
The Islam.
The masjid, Islam.
Yeah.
Our religion is Islamism.
Mm-hmm.
The place that houses the component of Islamism is what? The
Moorish
Moorish
Science
Science
Temple.
Temple of America. Therefore, it is everybody's religious right to express their religious freedom the way they see fit. That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
But now, that's different from a legally chartered Moorish Science Temple of America. How do I qualify that? Talk to them. Do you understand me so far?
Yes.
So anybody can say that they are the Moorish Science Temple of America. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
It's their religious right. Anybody can. Case have been proven that anybody can. This is why it's so many calling themselves that. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's their religious right. Say whatever they want. But now there's a big difference than calling yourself a Moorish Science Temple of America and being a legally chartered Moorish Science Temple of America. How do I qualify it? I qualify it from the prophet's divine doctrine itself that anybody could open one. The elders didn't want people to know this because they thought it would cause confusion. They thought somebody was going to take the bread off their table and the money out their pocket. So they didn't want people to start these things. And I understand. They wanted to keep it sacred and in their own little way, if you will. But according to the prophet, let me share this real quick. In the Holy Quran, chapter 48, if I'm not mistaken, it teaches very specifically on verse 4. Is that 48? Yeah, verse 4. The Moorish Science Temple of America is a lawfully chartered, which we are, an
Mm-hmm.
incorporated organization, which we are, any subordinate temple that desires to receive a what?
A charter. A charter.
Stop for a minute. Any subordinate temple that desires to receive a charter. Wouldn't that indicate in the English language that you are subordinate before you get a charter?
Yeah.
Listen what it says. The Moorish Science Temple of America is a lawfully chartered incorporated organization. Any subordinate temple that desires to receive a charter. You become a temple before you receive a charter. The prophet has them to issue to every state throughout the United States. That's the fact of the matter. Anybody can create a Moorish Science Temple of America. That don't mean you lawfully and legally chartered Moorish Science Temple of America. That doesn't mean that. In any other language, you can't, and there's no way you can chop and screw that. We ain't in Texas on this one. Do you follow me, brother?
Follow you.
So what the elders have done is they try to confuse people and say, you have to come to Chicago to get a charter. You have to go to the chamber to open a temple. You have to do this, that, and the third to do this, that, and the third. No. The Cook Bays say when they went to Baltimore, they set up the temple, and then the prophet came to Baltimore and set aside a charter. That's how that worked. How do you become subordinate? You understand the edicts and the way that the prophet is moving in the direction that the prophet is going. You set your temple up properly by the knowledge that you was given from the prophet or from those associated with the prophet. You follow what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
then you ask for a charter. Now, let's get to the charter. The charter have to be a legalized document to establish that you got the legal right to practice what you say you practicing. Why is the charter important? The charter is important because it's connected to a corporation. It's connected to the corporation that allows you to conduct business. So if someone does wrong with Braswell Bay under the Moorish Science Temple of America, guess what? They got to pay for their wrong. They're individuals. They're not lawfully chartered. If something would happen under the name of the Moorish Science Temple of America, and most of these Moorish Science Temple of America, they don't got insurance for the business. It's an incorporation. Let me qualify that real quick. How do we know it's an incorporation? Give me 1 second. We know it's an incorporation, and it always been an incorporation because many people would like to try to act like that they don't know the history uh, of the Moorish Science Temple of America. For I mean, or they just don't. Unfortunately, maybe they just don't. Let me shut some of this down real quick. Let me shut some of this down real quick, um, just so I can see what I'm doing. All right. So, because I want to qualify a few things real quick. The Moorish Science Temple of America has always been a corporation from since 1928. You feel what I'm saying? A religious
Mm-hmm.
corporation since 1928. So because it was a religious corporation since 1928, you can carry the name Inc. on the back of it. The ink has nothing to do with selling out. You know what I'm saying? Now, we got to get that through our head. The ink has nothing to do with that. It's a religious corporation. It can attach ink visibly or it cannot have it on there, but it's still an incorporation. It is what it
Mm-hmm.
is. It's a religious corporation. You follow what I'm saying? So most of these people calling themselves Moorish Science Temple of America, they are not religious corporations as the prophet established. I don't care if they're my friends. They are not religious corporations as the prophet established. You can name anybody. Anybody can come here. You're not religious incorporated. You're just not. You follow what I'm saying? You're just not. You know what I'm saying? You don't have a bank account in the Moorish Science Temple of America under what the prophet filed. What did the prophet file his corporation under? Let's talk about it now. Well, we getting hot now. We about to get warm. What the
Mm-hmm.
prophet did was he filed his corporation under this here, Herds Provide statute. Many people like to talk about it, but I don't feel as that they understand it. It says any church, congregation, or society, we are a religious society, formed for the purpose of religious worship may incorporate at a meeting appointing by 2 or 3 members as trustees, 805 ILCS 11035. Church, congregation, or society must record an affidavit of organization of the Office of Recorder for the county where the real estate is located. 805 ILCS 110. That's just legal jargon. An
Mm-hmm.
incorporated religious society may receive land. This is why they ain't got no land by gift, legacy, or purchase. When you look at this term legacy, that is for our brothers that the prophet said um, the Moors inhabited Northwest, South Central America and the Atlantis Islands. Legacy would be that we are indigenous of the land, and it's a legacy for us to reclaim the land. But that's another story, and that goes into the deep conversation of going into a nation. And so I drop that right there. We're talking civics now. All right, we're talking civics now. Or purchase the use of property for religious purposes. You see what I'm saying? You get some kickback for that, but you must be this is not a 501c3. That's different. Upon the incorporation of any congregation, church, or society, all real property held by trustees is for the use of members who immediately vest in the corporation and subject to its control. 805 ILCS 11041. The corporation, not members, hold the title to real property. We get into specifics right now. Now, what that is saying is that when you are a real religious corporation, the corporation hold the property. This is why the prophet Obadiah Ali said, do all your business in the name of the Moorish Science Temple of America. To take over that property? No. So it can be protected by the religious corporation. The religious corporation becomes the straw man, so you don't have to suffer loss if something happens. But most of these organizations called the Moorish Science Temple of America, they are not legally set up. Therefore, nobody can put their name in nothing called the Moorish Science Temple of America and receive the protections under the law of the county of Cook because no one follows the prophet anymore. With that being said, you got Moorish Science Temple of America that goes into LLCs. You got Moorish Science Temple of America that goes into 501c3s. You got Moorish Science Temple of America that even go into inks, but they're not set up like the prophet. How do I know? Because me and my assistant did the research, and we did the research very good, and there is not one set up like the prophet. Straighten my fares up, except them nobles. Now, with that being said,
I thought that was coming.
Now, with that being said, the point that I'm making is that you cannot achieve the desired purpose of the Moorish Science Temple of America if you are set up wrong. You can't receive land. You got to understand what Herds provide statue and it covers. Herds provide statue. That means Herds provide statue covers certain things. 10-mile radius of where your temple at becomes sacred ground. It becomes just like you can either purchase it or get it by legacy, or it can be donated to you, as in Herds provide statue. You see what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
wherever you buy a temple or wherever you get a temple, somebody donated to you or you get it by legacy, whatever the case may be, 10-mile radius becomes sacred land. In other words, it becomes no different than like the Vatican. That area becomes the jurisdiction of that temple. We get into civics now. See, Taj Tariq had a piece of the truth, a reflection of the truth, but he didn't have the truth. See, when people live the Temple of America in its proper form, they can get all the benefits of it. How do I know this? Because the laws in which the prophet filed the organization under it dictates what the ability of the corporation has. I'm not saying nothing that's not public record. You can go and look at it and read it for yourself. What else do you have and you don't have a problem with obtaining? Cemeteries. You don't have a problem with obtaining that. Why? Because you are under a certain jurisdiction. Now, how? What was the question again? I think I answered it. But without, but with that being said, now let's get into the question that I want to touch on real lightly. How one becomes a member of the org? How do one proclaim their nationality? Because the Moorish Science Temple of America is a legally chartered religious organization and society, when one
Mhm.
proclaims their nationality, they become a part of that society. So whenever they interface with, whether it be the United States government, whether it be outside government, state or national, there, if there's a problem, their grand sheik or head of the temple or jurisdiction is the one that's their representative. They don't speak for themselves. They become a member of that jurisdiction. You know, last week we were talking about government in the Moorish Science Temple of America. Well, this is the most fascinating thing that anybody would ever see, that this organization operates as a government until it can grow into a nation with all the bells and whistles of a government. You understand what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Mhm.
But the organization operates in that capacity. So that's why when one proclaimed their nationality, right? When one proclaimed their nationality and becomes a part of the religious society, they are afforded the protections of that society. And where do protections come from? The protections come from that society of what the incorporated society is under. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Many, like brother, all that I just said, many people got to stop smoking weed and stop drinking and stop humping around to put all this together. It's a lot of work to this. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a lot of work to this. But the Prophet Noble Drew Ali actually did it. How do we know the Prophet Noble Drew Ali did it? When the police came to arrest a lot of them Moors, they were already calling them Begs and L's. They didn't have to file no paperwork to be recognized by nothing. They was recognized by they demonstrated being a part of the society. You see what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
the society dictates what is and what is not a part of the society. So, for example, one of the things, and I'll put it out here, one of the things that we are working on now is when one proclaimed their nationality, we are working on to standardize people adding Bay and L to their name. Standardized meaning that we are a legally chartered, incorporated religious society. We have the authority to do this. How do we know that? It's written down what our powers is and what's not. We a society in society. We're a nation
Mhm.
within a nation. This is how it's set up. So my religious right is to add Bay or L to my name. That's my religious right. You know what I'm saying? Now,
Mhm.
is Bay or L? Is Bay or L a name change? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is why I encourage Moors not to do a legal name change. No, don't do that. Why? Because you're not changing your name. You're adding a title. Bey and El is a title. Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Prophet Noble Drew Ali never changed his name. He added titles. Prophet is a title. Noble is a title. Drew is a name. Ali is a title. He's not changing his name. Not changing his name. He's adding titles. It's like if you get a doctorate and you put doctor on your name. If you become a doctor and a lawyer, you be a doctor such and such Esquire. You're not changing your name. You see what I'm saying?
That's true. Yeah, because I look at it with me. I never went down to the courthouse and said, "Hey, I need to change my name to L." I start every time I filled out something, I started adding L to my name. When I got the P in my head, that's what I wrote. And then, hey, taxes, everything started coming back with L on it. Hey, look, driver's license. Oh yeah, Mr. L. Boom.
Yeah. So let me tell you what. In my early days, I went and had a baptismal certificate and went to that's what they had here. The Moors in Baltimore had a baptismal certificate.
Yeah, you got baptized now?
I was young, Mo. I was a young Mo. I was a young Mo.
Baptized.
Ain't no. They say take this down the motor vehicle.
Yeah, they throw some water on you.
They gave me a baptism. They gave me a baptismal certificate. Take it down there, change your name. I said, good goodness gracious. But anyway, I got that off the record. I was a young Mo. Ain't no about it. I was young Mo.
You go to baptism, go and take that down there. You do that, nephew.
So listen. So now, again, I gotta say, and this is no offense to my friends who practice and subscribe to the teachers of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, but most people are not legally chartered and designed in the way that the Prophet set it up. It is what it is. Anybody that wish to challenge me, come on. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, you're gonna look bad. You're gonna look bad. But now, what is a legally chartered organization? Now, once you have done the proper filings to set up your corporation, the charter is a reflection of that legal standing. So let me share this with you real quick. We're going to wrap this up right on time. Let me share this with you real quick. If I can. So when you look at family, I'm sorry that I got to demonstrate these facts real quick. All right.
That's a disclaimer.
Yeah, I got to do it. I got to do it, man. I got to do it, man.
I sorry, but here come the truth.
I got to do it, man. I says, man, they might be standing outside my house and catch that demonstration, man. I ain't trying to hit nobody with that demonstration, man. Leave me alone. I'm trying to tell you, man, this absurd stuff. Man, this hurts some feelings, man.
I got. So here go my measure. Here go my measure.
I got that calm you down around you. Come over here all hyped up like Tom Bay. That calm you down. Play with me. I'm scared. I'm nervous.
Oh man.
Make me nervous. So listen.
Okay.
With that being said, brother, you have many people with charters, right? And I'm gonna try. I got this mixed up in some stuff. So you got charters that look like this. You know what I'm saying? Which, this is not the Prophet's charter. This is not a reflection of the Prophet charter. You know what I mean? When you look at it, you have to know how to examine. Yes, it got some of the symbols, but this is not a reflection of the Prophet charter. just not. I mean, um, hold up. This branch of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science. Somebody put the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, and they do got the wording right though. Look like, hold up. Yeah, it's a little bit different, but it's not. But it's not it. So now, Grandmaster J, this here, see this? This was I think this was who charter was this? This charter was changed to man, I forget the brother name. Um, what's this brother name? Sheik. Let me see if I can find it. F. Turner L. This is F. Turner L. When he left the Moorish Science Temple of America Incorporated, this is the charter that he created. You follow me?
Uh-huh.
The difference is though, this was a legal charter. You follow me?
Uh-huh.
I mean, this was a legal charter. This is why he was able to make a lot of moves. And they used to call him the International Grand Sheik. But it's different from the Prophet's Charter. You follow me? You know what I mean? The
Uh-huh.
Prophet's Charter didn't have warrant and suspension and disposition on the charter and all of that stuff. But it was kind of different. He changed a few things. But let me say this. It's his religious right to create a charter in which he see fit too. You feel what I'm saying? You can't stop nobody from that. But this is not how the Prophet's Charter looked either. Moorish Science Temple of America, the divine and national movement of North America. That's not how the Prophet Charter looked either. You follow me? But
Uh-huh.
that was the charter that was used by him. Now, when you look at the brother Neil Bay, he actually then added in home office under home rule can suspend or revoke. He added words to the charter. That's not the Prophet Charter. I mean, uh, this is where you can see that during the time of Emiliel, they actually used the thing incorporated. So incorporated is not a demon. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because it's a
Okay.
religious society. And see, Emiliel was the supreme grand sheik at this time. You follow me?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So they used the term incorporated. Not, and that's the fifth annual convention. Matter of fact, right there too. See, so the incorporation is not a demon. If you
Uh-huh.
understand what it was all about. You got to understand the divine plan of the ages too. So this is another part of Neil Bay Charter. You can't see it, but it's all over the place. Honor to Neil Bay for providing me with the information. Now, this here is Rasadi L Charter. Rasadi L was so duped that he felt as though that the Moorish Science Temple of America wasn't a corporation. So as you can see, he blotted out the ink because everybody was talking about the ink was the devil. Instead of doing research himself, he took a charter from the Moorish Science Temple of America Incorporated that they gave him when he was a part of the Moorish Science Temple of America Incorporated, and he blotted out. He fool crazy. They fools. That Rasadiel. I love you, Rasadiel, but it look crazy. They gonna be mad at me. Okay. I got to calm you down now. Don't play. But I just got that truth. Now look. So when these elders would post these charters in their temple, they had people believing that they were legitimately, legally chartered. How did they convince people of that? What they would do is they would have these seals and say, you ain't got no seals on it. You ain't legit. I got seals on mine. Well, anybody can order that off the internet. You know what I mean? Because back in the day, what the seals meant was the seal was connected to the actual incorporated document that was filed with the government and which you filed for your organization. You follow me? But
Uh-huh.
this ain't nothing right here. This ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Ain't nothing legal about it. Nothing. In fact, you cannot white out a legal document. It don't work like that. You can't do it. I mean, so when you look at the charter, all of this means something. And I'm coming out with a pamphlet soon to break down the charter, the 10 houses of the Holy Charter, and I'll be breaking down that soon. You feel what I'm saying? You see that? That
Mm-hmm.
slipped up. Um, yeah, that slipped up in there. Now, let me stop this real quick and just say something about that. When you look at a real legitimate charter is able to track itself to a legitimate filing somewhere in the United States. There should be a file number on it, and you should be able to find that charter. So, for instance, this is a honor to Baliel. I love my brother Baliel. This is the old Baliel charter. It got those two seals on it. I love you, Baliel. And anybody who follow Baliel, I love you too. The truth is the light of the world. But these two seals have no power because these seals are really no different than a novelty thing. They have no power because they're not connected to anything to establish your standing in law. During the time of the prophet, this one that says 1928 had the power, or 19, I think this one said 1926, if you will, maybe. Yeah, they got the 1926 and 19 or 1916, whatever the case may be. During the time of the prophet, these seals was connected to the affidavit that's on back of your questionnaire.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? And so when you went to the place where it was filed, you will actually see these seals to connect the two together. This is how business was done back in the day. That way, if you wanted to seal a document or qualify a document, you have your press and you would just say, this is official. This is official. And everybody say, yeah, this is official because this is the official seal of the legal incorporated business.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? These are not connected. And everybody, listen, brother, we need to wake up. If you got 25 Moorish Science Temple of America all using these same two seals, who has legal standing? Ain't nobody got legal standing, bro. Keep it a buck, man. Ain't nobody got no legal standing. This is just novelty. That's all it is. It look good. It's shining. Oh, man. What size are yours? Mine 2.5. What size are yours? Mine 3.2. And this shit look good. Ain't no legal standing in there. They can't sue nobody. And they can't put no property under this. Well, this is the real deal. But anybody can challenge me. Anybody can challenge me. I'm good. I'm trying to tell you. Look, one thing about me, I ain't going to teach something that I can't back up. I ain't going to do it. If 25 people calling themselves Moorish Science Temple of America, all carrying this seal, which one is legal? None of them. In fact, if one was legal, they should be suing the one that's not. Make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
If one is legal, they should be suing the one that's not. This is why, I put it out there. I know they're going to sneak in here and watch this. You know what I mean? This is why I say that if anybody had any legal inquiries for Brother Taga Bay, send them to 608 North Fulton Avenue. 638 North Fulton Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland, 21217. All your legal inquiries. I know my religious right. I know who's legit, who's not. So, with that being said, my brother, when you look at, honor to my brother Baliel, real quick, when you look at brother Baliel, for example, when he give you your sheik papers or divine minister papers, what he does is he file you on the record in the county of Cook. as being a sheikh or divine minister. Very important. Very important. Because at that point, for those who are with Belial, you do have some legal standing with that organization. You follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because literally file you. Matter of fact, give me a second. Give me a second. I'm going to show you something that I don't show everybody. But for the sake of clarity, I honor Belial. Belial. That's my guy, man. Love me some
Mm-hmm.
Belial. He can throw me under the bus if he wants, but I love me some Belial. He the real deal. He my main man. You know what I mean? But I just want to do it like the prophet. I don't want to do it like Belial. I want to do it like the prophet. That's it. But hold up. Give me 1 second. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, brother?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So honor to Brother D. Belial. Let me show you this. This is my one
I
of
can't see
authority.
you.
Oh, my bad.
Okay, I can
This
see you now.
is my one of authority from D.
Mm-hmm.
Belial. You follow me?
Yep.
I can return this, but I asked him, did he want me to send it back? No, we're going to be talking. Da, da, da. So I keep it as a novelty. If he requests it back, I'll send it back to him. But you see those
Mm-hmm.
numbers on there?
Yeah. At the bottom, yeah.
Those, those numbers there are legal numbers. You feel what I'm saying? Those are
Mm-hmm.
legal numbers. That means that if I was, not today because I'm not under that administration, if I was under the administration of D. Belial, somebody could come in the temple, look at those numbers, track them down in the county of Cook, and legitimize my standing with D. Belial as a sheik. You
Mm-hmm.
follow me? Because I'm filed under one of those numbers as a sheik legally. You follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the same thing with a religious corporation. The religious corporation should have a document number filing, just like on the back of your. Hold up, let me pull it up real quick. What's the name of it? Uh, 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 Let me pull it up real quick to wrap it up. Um, Pull it up real quick if I can find it. Here we go. Bam. Praise the Lord. So look. So these people like to talk about 1010 5905 as if it's some magic number or something. It's not a magic number. Right here, it's like an index number. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
You see this number right here? 1010 5905.
Mm-hmm.
That number is the filing number, if you will, so you can find the paperwork that legitimizes this corporation that the prophet set up. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
Now, on every document, there should be some legal, there should be some legal document number where one can go look up and legitimize your standing as a Moorish Science Temple of America. No number, no lawfully chartered temple. Now, who has authority? No number, no legally chartered temple. That's the facts. Now I know people gonna be watching this. They're gonna be running around looking at people charters. Brother Tonka Bay said you should have a number on that demonstration. So that's it for tonight, family.
Okay.
That's it. I gave you the truth. I just want you to know the truth. Anything in closing, brother?
Islam. That's it.
What do you
Islam.
what do you think about that? What do you think about that? Give me some feedback.
Brother, that was a good demonstration. I'm not gonna lie. That that cleared up a lot of stuff. And you know what? While you was talking, you was showing me the charter. I was thinking back about the question that I asked you about the crescent and who changed the colors. And I'm looking at the charter, and I'm like, it's white and red. It's right there in your face. It's right there. It's white and red. It's simple. It's white background, red symbol, boom, boom. You see everything. So how could you? How could? Yeah. That,
Indeed.
that,
Indeed. My brother just text me and say, fix your pen. You're right. I need to take it off because it ain't the right one. I got to take it off. I'm tripping too. I'm tripping too. I'm tripping too. But no, in a nutshell, family, I'm telling you, I I know this to be fact because I compare it to what the prophet says and what the prophet taught. And
mhm.
I know that we will never see the utopia of Moorish science in its purest sense until we demonstrate it like the prophet. I already know that. So this is why I don't mind stepping on toes, hurting some feelings and all of that, because my desire is to do it right like the prophet. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to ask permission. You know what I mean? I've looked out there, I've seen people are trying to figure it out. In the words of my brother, Al Edwardsell, he used to tell me all the time, we used to get to argue because I like to research and I like to double check everything. We used to get to argue. And he said, you a young Mo. You don't know this. I've been in this 40 years. I ain't trying to learn this. I'm trying to teach it. You ain't arguing with me about nothing. I used to have to be quiet. I did. I ain't trying to learn this. Got nothing to argue with you about. I'm trying to teach this. And so I'm to the point now, I ain't really trying to argue with you. I'm just going to teach it. I'm just going to teach it. And I'm going to move on it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I'm going to move on it. So anybody who wishes to move on it with us, you're welcome to join us. It takes a lot of work. I'm trying to tell you, it's a lot of things that need to be done in order for it to become a reality. But if everybody work their part, we can get some momentum faster. You know what I'm saying? We get some momentum faster. But everybody got to work their part. Everybody got to have some staying power, and everybody got to stop saying what has the Moors done and ask yourself, what can I do? That's it.
That's key.
That's it. Can't keep asking what have the Moors done? What have the Moors done? What can I do? I mean, I'm trying to finance a group of Moors and brothers and sisters who are interested in liberating our people on the front line where there's going to be a next rally. I got my brother NYC Ryder. He's going to be there with me. You know what I mean? He's ready to put up some finance to go. He's not a member of the Moorish Science Temple of America. I know the members in the Noble Temples are ready to put up some money to get some people mobilized. But, it's going to take more than us. And so that's the thing. Until we ready to stand out in that parking lot like Prophet Noble Drew Ali, stand out where them rallies at, stand out where that police brutality happened, put them red fezes in the building, put them out there in the streets. Man, ain't nobody worrying about what we talking about, man. I mean, man, let's be for real, Paige, and I'll go with this. Brother, how many people, I mean, how many people of stature around the world know these leaders that we call leaders in the Moorish Science Temple of America? If I went to California, and I said, take a poll. I know y'all gonna get mad at me. I'm gonna get you mad real quick. Hi, ma'am. How you doing? I just got a question for you. Who is the Honorable Louis Farrakhan? He's the leader of the Nation of Islam. Thank you, sir. Who is Minister Louis Farrakhan? Isn't he the guy that hate Jews? In European, he gonna say that. Hey. Who is the Minister Farrakhan? I think he's the Nation of Islam, right? A Muslim. Who's the man? Who is Farrakhan? He one of them black Muslims. They gonna do that. That's that, bro. He one of them black Muslims.
That's the old school. That's the old school.
Black Muslims. Yeah, that's what they gonna say. But then I say, who's R. Jones Bay? Excuse me, sir? Who's Bailey L? Sir? I'm confused. Who's Rasadia? Nobody know these people, man. Nobody know these people, man. And that's a problem. Because everybody knew Prophet Noble Drew Ali.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something. NYC Ryan said, I will keep it real with you. The only one I know now is you. I'm telling you, everybody know. Listen, bro, so many people know Brother Targa Bay. I can go into the store. Man, people be like, man, it scared me. It scared me. Hey, Brother Targa Bay, can I get a picture? I be like, what the world? That's what YouTube do. Seriously, man, that's my brother and everything. Man, I don't be knowing these people.
Yes. Technology changed the world.
Man, anywhere I go. Listen, I went with my mother and my sister and my sister-in-law on a shopping trip in New York. You know how the ladies like to get on the bus and take them trips? I'm the brother that went with them. And I'm walking downtown, and man, the first time, man, brother walked up to me, Brother Targa Bay. I'm like, man, hold up, brother. I'm Tito today. You about to get swung on.
I'm Tito today.
I'm the street cat. Don't you walk up on me like that. But, brother, I ain't going to keep you no long. I know you work today. I appreciate you, brother. We're going to do this again next week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what? I do want to say something. One nation, one prophet.
Absolutely.
One nation, one prophet. One nation. Right. One temple. One temple. One prophet.
And say one truth.
I'm always and one truth. And there's only one truth.
One truth.
And
don't forget that.
Brothers, sisters, put the petty differences about who did this, who's right or wrong. Put that stuff to the side. Because it is time to unite. Flat out. The divine, we read the divine covenant of the Asiatic nation at the end of the meeting.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, but you know, we got to unite under truth. And if we can't unite under the truth, if we can't unite under the truth that as we see it, we got to unite under the bonds of affection. I love you because I love you, even though if you don't disagree with me. I mean, even if you disagree with me. I love you because I love you. You don't have to agree with me. I ain't got to agree with you. That don't mean we got to go to war either. I disagree with you. And I leave the floor open. I leave the floor open for you to prove me wrong. If you prove me wrong, I'm going to take it back and I'm going to apologize.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously. If somebody come on here and say, no, this is what happened, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to say, man, I'm going to take this video down. Then I'm going to go live on Moorish World TV. Because see, Moorish World TV is going to be about 600 people up in there.
Mm-hmm. And
then I'm going to apologize.
What if they come to you and say this? Targa Bay, you was right. Let's unite. I come out on my platform and I say, hey, that I was wrong on this. It's time to connect.
And I'm going to say, Islam, let's do it. Let's sit at the table, sit at the round table. Let's look at what the prophet said, and let's organize and execute straight from the prophet's law. No filter, no cut, no additives.
That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing.
No filter, no cut, no additives. Just what the prophet say. If the prophet ain't say it, let's do away with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like we ain't got to interpret nothing. Let's just do what the prophet said. Even if you want to still wear blue charms, so what? Go ahead. But let's just do word for word what the prophet said. I don't care about your blue charms.
Stop. Hey, hold on.
I ain't wearing nothing.
Hey, man. Put the pork chop away. Put the pork chop away.
Get your hand on my pocket. Hey, listen. Let me show you something, brother, before I go. So, many people, right, brother? Can I give you one more degree before I go? I know you got to go.
Yeah.
I'll give you
Yeah,
one more.
No. It was Carter pulled up behind me.
That's them people. You got that thing go bang, bang. You all right?
Making sure you're okay, man, because I done drove past here and I'm like, this car's still on.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
All right.
brother.
All right.
You got good neighbors.
Yeah. Oh, you can? Like, I'm making sure you all right. Yeah, I'm all right, brother.
So look, let me get this off real quick.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to see something real quick. What did I do? Oh man, I think I got rid of it. What I wanted to say is this.
The people's coming for me.
Yeah. I just want to make sure that you follow the law and be a law-abiding citizen. That's all I want to make sure. So listen, brother. So when I read the FBI file, right, and they was talking about Prophet Noble Ali, right, and they say when they first seen him that he was wearing a flaming red fez, right? Like there's nothing in my mind that could really take me away from getting me back in accord with Prophet Noble Ali, because I could never understand why our flag is red, but the fez is burgundy. Never made sense to me. I mean, it never made sense to me. And so I'm like, did my research, found the report. It said Prophet Noble Ali, they described him wearing a flaming red fez. So before I even switched over, I did a little bit of research. And you know what I found out, brother? That before, the first fez that the Masons hijacked was, guess what color it was?
Flaming red.
Flaming red. That was the first one that they hijacked. Then they flipped the script. When they started to manufacture them, this is what you get. You feel me?
Okay. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it all makes sense when you get to, this is my files from what's the name? It all makes sense when you get to, that's a whole degree on fezes. You see, I got it for you, brother. I mean, a whole degree on fezes. You know what I mean? A whole lesson on fezes. See, the reason why I got this, because we learned this in the temple. We've been learning this for quite some time. You feel what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, and the thing is that, matter of fact, let me show you. Hold up. What's this going on here? Why is this moving? Man, my thing keep moving. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
So,
I gotta connect you back to. I gotta connect this phone back to the charge. Hopefully, I don't lose your heart.
So here you go, right here, real quick. So here's the report. In 1925, a small Negro wearing a flaming red fez, similar to the ones worn by the Turks, appeared in the empty lots of the streets and corners of Chicago or the South Side. A flaming red fez. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm saying to myself, and they saying similar to the Turks. That's a lot of detail right there, because the Turks had two different kind of fezes. They did have a burgundy fez, and they had a red fez, and they had a black fez. The burgundy fez was for the regular people. The red fez was for the regular people. The burgundy fez was for the elites, and the black fez was for the officers. You follow what I'm saying? And I've done my research on that. And so, because Jesus came for the common people, man, I got to get with the common people fez. flaming red. And even though one of my teachers put a black fez on my head that you see right here, I didn't order mine from Lauders per se. I was given the degree of divine minister by one of my teachers, and I was honored with the black fez. I didn't just order it. I was honored with the black fez, and I have divine minister papers to go with it, and the divine minister papers has a legal number to go with it. How that punch? You see that punch? Don't think I hit like that. I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, man.
Love, big brother. I'm gonna let
Peace
you
and
get out
love.
of here. I gotta call my
Peace and
wife
love.
when she get mad at me and say, "Go, why you? She ain't home yet, and,
Yeah.
and I gotta go get the baby, and she gonna come and yell at me. So I might as well
Yeah,
get
it's all right. You gotta check in. This is what you gotta do,
all
right?
that
That's
tough
just
guy, all
yeah.
that,
It's just,
all that
don't
tough
worry.
guy.
I'm finna go do the same thing.
Peace
Hit
and
loud.
love, man.
All right, peace.